President Donald Trump finally got a chance to deliver his second State of the Union address with all of the pomp and circumstance. The question is, will this be his last? This event is about tradition and respect of the office of the President of the United States, and not necessarily about the individual who's delivering that address. By agreeing to wait until the end of the government shutdown, Trump realized and acknowledged that there is no other venue or audience like this one. Speaker Nancy Pelosi ensured that the decorum of the House was maintained and signaled her members very clearly just how to respond. She was clearly in control of her team. And so, question is, what was this speech really about? And who was the audience? The base? The Democrats, who he has to work with? Or the independents, who he will really need in 2020 if he is going to win? The first time ever that Trump really made an effort to reach out beyond his base was at this address. This was not the dark picture of America he painted during his inaugural speech. It was not a MAGA rally. It was a speech listing his triumphs, his accomplishments, and his goals, which is de rigueur for this event. That's what you do. Now, from Trump's perspective, this was his first campaign speech of the 2020 presidential election cycle. Now, just like many of his speeches, this one had more than its fair share of fake facts, lies, and exaggerations. Donald Trump is known for his strained relationship with the truth and how it really matters. And now, what really matters is how he will survive. He is the president who has cried wolf too many times to have any credibility with those who are not his loyal disciples. President Trump finally seemed to realize he is now dealing with a new reality, including a sea of women in white who are all elected to oppose him and his policies. Now, if Donald Trump is going to run for another term on promises made, promises kept, he has a real problem. His biggest problem is the wall, and that promise remains unfulfilled. Now, in the 2 years that have passed, Donald Trump has done everything he could to break down and violate the trust that he now needs desperately. Even his own party is not willing to stick out their necks for him without a firm commitment from him. And no one wants to deal with the fact that this damaged president could in fact be impeached. Trump fired his biggest warning shot yet, laying the blame at the Democrats, right at their feet, for ruining his economic miracle. If there is going to be peace and legislation, there cannot be war and ridiculous partisan investigations. It's ironic that Nancy Pelosi, the second in line of succession to the presidency, has so far bested President Trump throughout this entire process. Speaker Pelosi and the Democrats now have real power. So the question is, will they use it to compromise and to get things done for the American people? Or will they be forced by circumstances and fact to impeach a sitting president? This is John Christopher Bua for Real Political News, Washington.